Hey everyone, blessed be, Annie G here. I hope everyone's having a great day or night wherever you are in the world. Thank you for being here and for watching this video. So today I just wanted to share with you guys some of my pendulums that I have, like 3 of them. I wanted to show you guys just a different variety of what's out there and what you can find, what the little minor differences are, and all of that stuff. So I don't know how in-depth this video is going to be or get, but it's just going to be a brief little video about pendulums, so I hope you guys enjoy it. So the pendulum I'm going to start with today is the Fluorite Pendulum. So it's a crystal pendulum. So these crystal pendulums, they're beautiful, and you can find them pretty much at every crystal shop that you can find. They're very popular. They're here on a chain. This one has a loop around it, and they're great for healing purposes. And it's really, honestly, I love it for chakra healing, and it's just really great. They're very, very popular these days. You literally can find them everywhere at every shop, so they're really beautiful. You can find them in any crystal you want, quartz, whatever. So one thing I do want to say about crystal pendulums is that you should actually, if you want to use it for scrying or dowsing, and for things like that, or divination purposes, I really recommend not using anything that's clear. So with how pendulums are, is so they absorb a lot, you know. So that's why. So it's, yeah, you can use it and it's great, like you can use it. But because they absorb energies, you have to be more careful with them. For example, if you're doing like healing for somebody, it can absorb that negative energy that you're healing that person from, you know, and so they really need some extra paying attention to, some extra cleansing, and just some extra care. So, you know, if you really do want to use a crystal pendulum, I just recommend using like a hematite or black obsidian or such things like that. Try to stay clear from the ones that are see-through, that, you know, I don't know, just stay away from them, you guys. They're great, again, they're great for healing. So if you need to do healing or chakra healing, these are really great. I really recommend them, and you can find them literally everywhere. One thing I always wonder to myself is, like, how come all these witchy shops I go to don't have any pendulums on a rope? They're always on a chain. We'll get to that later on in the video. It's just like a little thing, but something I always wonder. But yeah, they're absolutely wonderful. They're wonderful to work with, great energy. I absolutely love them. And again, so crystals, you know, compared to other types and forms, they emit their own energies. They have their own reasons of existence, basically, within them, you know. So yeah, you can program them to do whatnot. You can program them for any energy working that you're doing. But again, they absorb a lot, so you have to be very careful. You don't want to absorb, like if you're doing scrying or you're working with like spirits, you really want to be careful, you know, from that absorption. And that's why I say just kind of stay clear from the ones that are see-through and clear. That's why. So the next one I want to talk about, so the next 2 that I have are made out of brass, and they're in the category of the Egyptian pendulums. I really love these. They're made out of brass, and brass has really good qualities. It has a lot of positive qualities on the human body. It has a lot of healing purposes, and it's just such a universal pendulum to have. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Goddess Pendulum. So this one's also on a chain, and at the end over here, it has a really beautiful, I don't know if you can see it, it has a beautiful sun over here. If it'll focus, there you go. So it has a little sun attached to it, and again, it's made out of brass. It's known as the Goddess Pendulum. It's absolutely beautiful. If you see these discs over here, so these pendulums are batteries. They literally emit their energies. So this one is just one piece. It does not come apart. We'll get to that in a second as well. So this is just a one-piece pendulum. As you can see, again, it's on a chain, and it has the 2 discs. Those are batteries, and they emit the energies. This one emits white energy, white light, so it reflects as well. So you can use it for literally anything that you want, any kind of purpose. Healing, scrying, divinatory, dowsing, anything. This can be used. It looks small, you guys, but because it's brass, this has weight to it. And why you want your pendulum to have weight to it is because if you're doing any work outside or anything like that, and let's say it's a windy day, but you didn't know that it was going to be windy, and yet here you are outside and you're ready to work with your pendulum, and it's windy. So that's something you don't have to worry about with these pendulums because of its weight. The wind doesn't affect the swing. So that's just something I like to know, because when I'm doing my spiritual work and when I'm doing my anything, healing, divinatory, anything, dowsing, I'm working on my charts, anything that I'm doing, I just like to know that the energies are pure. It's not, I'm not the one moving it, the wind's not moving it, it's real energy focus, So that's something I really like about this pendulum. Again, it's called the Goddess Pendulum. It comes with two discs on it, and it's absolutely wonderful. I highly recommend this pendulum. So another one that I want to talk about is one that this is my everyday pendulum, okay, you guys? It's called the Carnac Pendulum. So before I take it apart, let me show you. So this one's on a rope. Again, it's called the Carnac Pendulum. I hope you can see that. I absolutely love this pendulum so much, you guys. I love it, love it. It's my everyday pendulum. Again, it's brass. Now, the difference between a rope and a chain is just that pendulums on chains, they're fine. Again, they work fine, but it can the chain itself can counter-react with the energies. It can change things up a little bit. It may not, but it might. That the possibility is still there, whether you really focus on it or not. So it can just, counter-react sometimes, the chain. So historically, pendulums were not kept on chains, which I come back to now, which is why I was saying earlier, like, oh, I don't know why these witchy shops, like, they don't have them on ropes, because historically speaking, they're supposed to be on ropes, like you can find the crystal ones that, as long as it has a point at the end, that's what's important, but you can find them like as a rope for a necklace, and you can always use that necklace for a pendulum, and that's great and everything. But like as an actual pendulum, where they have their pendulums like hanging all together, they actually are always on a chain. They don't have them on a rope. So I find that very interesting, just because historically speaking, they were always kept on ropes or some kind of a form of a string or such not. It wasn't, chains were not used. So I just think that's interesting, and so I actually prefer using the rope how it used to be made. That's just me. Again, this is just my opinions, my way of working with these, and how I like to do things, So anyway, sorry for the rant. Just like that was a long side note. Anyway, so this is again the Carnac Pendulum. I absolutely love this pendulum so much. I love working with it. And so this one emits negative green energy. We'll get to that in a sec. So what that just basically means is when it's not being used, that's the color that it puts out. That's the energy. And that's why it comes apart. You're supposed to keep it apart in 2 pieces. A lot of people, they try to say like, oh, the negative green pendulums, you have to be careful with them. One is the Carnac Pendulum, one is the Osiris Pendulum. I don't have that one, but that's another one. But they're like, oh, you have to be careful. These pendulums are dangerous and whatnot, but they're not, because I want to remind you guys that everything has yin and yang energy. Everything in this world is a balance of good and bad, black and white. You know what I mean? It's a balance. So it's nothing to be afraid of. It's how the natural world works. It's how we work as a species. So it's not anything to be afraid of. Again, you know what I mean? It's just people just how can I put this? I guess then people can work with darker energies better with these, because it's such a balanced form of energy. It's both good and bad, light and dark, this and that. So maybe that's why it has a bad rap. But again, that's another thing, you guys, just another little side note is, don't just listen to anyone and everything that they say. Take everything with a grain of salt. There's a lot of fake people out there. There's a lot of people who are just there for likes, for just to like get you to like subscribe and like things and stuff. So don't let people get fear inside of you. Don't let any of that get to you. You know who you are, you know what you're doing, and as long as you know how these energies work, that's what's important. So people who are out there trying to like scare you or put any kind of a weird kind of a flow to it, like, just know that that's probably not legit, maybe not 100% genuine. You know what I mean? So just take it with a grain of salt. Be careful who you're talking to, who you're listening to, especially if you're going to someone as a client, you're going to spend your money. Definitely be careful. There's a lot of people out there who are not there for you for your best interests. All they care about is your money, or your subscribing, or your likes, or whatnot, whatever, what have you. So just be wary and be careful. So I just have to say that. So back to the pendulum. So I absolutely love this pendulum, and again, with that negative green energy, this is a great pendulum, you guys. Amazing for healing. I absolutely love it. And it comes apart so I can do remote healing in amazing ways for you guys. What I can do is, if it's for myself, I breathe my name into here, or if it's for a client, I breathe your name into here. And that's why names are so important. I ask you guys, whether it's in my tarot readings or in my healings or in anything that I do, I ask you your birth name. Not the name that you want to be called, but the name that you were given at birth. Why? Because it's a way to connect the energies of the tools that I'm using to you, so you can get the best out of your reading or whatever reason you are here with me for. I'm not here for some bullshit boo-boo like Mickey Mouse shit. You know what I mean, you guys? I'm here to help you guys. I care about you guys, even if I don't know you. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to put anything else in your head, okay? So the fact that I can do that, and the remote energies that come through here, it's so strong and potent, you guys. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I really don't know what else to say. This is absolutely an amazing pendulum, and I absolutely love it. It is my everyday main pendulum, and I love these as well, but this is my main. I really like using my Goddess Pendulum for, if I want some feminine energy, if I want to connect to my female guides, female ancestors, female deities, spirits, whatnot. I'll use that one. But again, I don't have to, because this is so universal. I don't need any other pendulum. So, there's another special pendulum that is going to be my everyday next to this one. So that video is going to be coming up soon. So stay tuned for that one. But again, we're getting sidetracked. Sorry, you guys. But yeah, so this is amazing. I can't tell you how much I love this pendulum. I love working with it, especially the fact that I can do remote healing, remote sessions with you guys with it. It just makes it even more top notch. I can even like write down your name on here, roll it up, and put it inside, and then when I'm done, take it out and burn it or discard it, however way you would want me to, and there you go. And it's just absolutely wonderful, and I can't tell you how much I love this pendulum. And there's nothing, again, to be afraid of with the negative energies, because it's not really negative energy. Again, it's a balanced pendulum. Both, you can do anything that you can do with one that emits white light that you can with this one. And the difference with this one, if I want, I can do like banishment and things like that with this as well, because it's so balanced with its yin and yang energies. So I mean, come on, you guys, I absolutely love this pendulum so much, and I can't recommend it anymore. I really can't. And I always have it in 2 pieces when I'm not working with it. Again, so it kind of neutralizes the energies. I keep one in my left bra and the other one in my left side of my bra, and I work out, I meditate, you know, and this is great energy. This is really great energy, and I absolutely love it so much. And again, I cannot recommend this more. It's absolutely wonderful. So they're all great for healing, but again, my Carnac Pendulum is my go-to pendulum, you guys. Always and forever. It's just absolutely great. And so another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is your energies in your hands. So yeah, you can use your pendulums with your charts, which I will maybe show you either in this video or another video. We'll see how long this video goes. But so if you want to use yourself and you don't have any charts, you can use your own body, because we're a natural flow of energy. So what you do is you use your hand. So if you're right-handed, you use your receptive hand to hold the pendulum. If you're right-handed, you use your left hand to hold the pendulum. If you're left-handed, you use your right hand to hold your pendulum. And there you go. And so they say to hold them with these 3 fingers, and this is why. This is what I'm about to explain. So your hand, your 5 fingers emit energies. Your thumb is a neutral energy. Your middle finger is positive energy. Think of it like a battery, okay? So neutral, positive. The 2 fingers surrounding your middle finger are negative. So positive, negative, negative, and then positive. Okay, guys? So those are the energies of your fingers. You can even like write positive, negative, and then for neutral you can make a circle to remember it when you're doing it. So what you would do is you would hold your pendulum, and when you're holding it with those 3 fingers, what you're doing is you're basically neutralizing all the energy fields. You know what I mean? So it's all the energies, positive, negative, and neutral energies into your pendulum. So it just balances it out and neutralizes it. And then you would hold your hand underneath, right by your heart, and you would ask your pendulum your question. Now, when you first get your pendulum, it's really important that you actually not only cleanse it, but once it's actually cleansed and consecrated and it's ready to be used, what you have to do is you have to ask it questions to know what its signifiers are. So you have to ask it, what's your signifier for yes? You know, how do you show me no? How do you show me maybe? What's your signifier for ask a different question or unknown? Things like that. So you know how your pendulum is talking to you. So if you're holding it on your palm, it would be like this. If you're holding it on your palm and it's swinging, you're asking it to show you yes. For example, my pendulum, I'm going to make the swing myself. Right now, it's not doing it on its own, okay? So for example, when I say show me yes, what it does is it goes back and forth. So this is yes for my pendulum. Okay, so it would go back and forth, okay? And then when I ask it no, it would go left to right. Again, I'm making it swing on its own, so yeah. And then so it would go like this for no, okay? And then for a maybe, it goes in a circle for me, okay? And then for an unknown, or to ask a different question, what it does is it kind of shakes in its place. Like I can't make it do it, but it kind of just like shakes in its place. And that means like I need to ask either the question in a different way or different form, or it's unknown right now, or things like that. So again, so when you first get your pendulum, it's very important that you do all of this, because you have to know how your pendulum is talking to you. So you can't do any practice with your pendulum if you don't know these things, because how else are you going to know what it's telling you? How are you going to know if it's telling you yes, no, maybe, etc.? So you have to know what it's saying to you, you know. So again, you just connect with your pendulum like that. You connect with it by keeping it with you, sleeping with it under your pillow. Again, if it's one like the Carnac or the Osiris, where it emits negative green energies when it's not being used, I should actually have it like that right now. You should have it separate into pieces. And one thing to note about this is it actually comes apart in a third way from the top over here. But I have protection herbs in here. It's a small little hole, not very big, but I have some herbs that size. So I made it work. So I'm not going to open that. So what you do is you just do that. You just have it in its pieces separately, because again, it just neutralizes its energies. It's like a battery, you know? So Another thing I do with my Carnac Pendulum, because again, it emits the negative green energy just to be safe and cleansed and clear and make sure it's still pure energies going through and about, I do keep a selenite with it. I don't do that with any of my other pendulums. It's actually something I only do with my Carnac Pendulum. It's something I actually do recommend doing as well. So it's just, I just know it's cleansed and always ready to go, even though they do cleanse themselves in a way too. So people say that the negative green doesn't self-cleanse. So like, for example, like the Isis pendulum or any other pendulum that emits white light energy, they self-cleanse. You don't have to like cleanse them after each use as much or anything, because it does it itself. Those batteries that I was talking about, these discs that are on here, these little discs, you know, that's the energy fields, you know, so it emits at different frequencies and different ranges. So you just have to be careful with that, and as long as you're careful with it, again, and you understand these energies and how they work, you're pretty much, you're good, you know. And I mean, there isn't really any much more to say, honestly, other than just make sure you're cleansing and you're consecrating your tool. Any tools that you're using, especially pendulums, make sure that they're ready for use, and definitely make sure that before you actually begin your work, like when you first get your pendulum, when you're done, make sure you're understanding its signals. Make sure how it tells you yes, no, maybe, ask a different question, you know, unknown. Make sure you know those things if you're not using a chart or a board. You know, when you're using your own energies, you need to know how your pendulum speaks to you, and that's very important. So definitely remember that, okay, you guys? Another thing I want to add about crystal pendulums, you know, again, if just a little friendly reminder, if you really want to use crystals, you know, I understand, I love crystals myself, and I can understand if you really want to use a crystal pendulum, like it's important to you. I get it. But, you know, again, you can use obsidian, even black tourmaline, you know, hematite, such things like that. They're just, they're better options, and they're a better way to go. And again, the ones that are on chains, it's just important to remember that, you know, they can counter-react energies. You just never know. It's maybe better to have the ones that are on ropes. And yeah, and just make sure that you're doing everything respectfully. And I hope that you guys have a great journey with your pendulums, and you're gonna have so much fun. And soon, I'm actually gonna, my next video is going to be on my pendulum board. It's the one that I recently made. And the entire idea came from Pink Tourmaline Witch. And I can't be more thankful to her enough, because so she makes her own pendulum boards, and she's always making a different one, different style, different layout. And this one is like, it's her, I guess it's her most recent one, and I saw it and I absolutely fell in love. I usually never connect with boards at all, you guys, at all. And when I saw this one, I had to have it. Alright, sorry you guys, the video cut me off. So yeah, so when I saw her board, I absolutely had to have it, and I was like, oh my gosh. And again, I usually don't really get into boards like that, but when I saw that, I had to have it. And I commented and I let her know, like, I am so gonna be making your board because I have to have it. Thank you so much for like putting this idea out there. Thank you so much for like and she was like nice enough to like let people know how, like what she used and how she made it. And so I went and I bought everything that I needed so that I can make the board. And it's drying. I thought it would be dry and ready by now, but it's actually not. It had some more things that needed to be dried off, so it has some more parts to it. So whatever, it's okay. It's drying, and I'm just like so impatient because I'm so excited to use it. You have no idea. So that's a video that's going to be coming up, so keep in tune, okay, you guys? So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if there's anything else that I can cover that I didn't or I forgot to cover about pendulums, please let me know. I would be more than happy to like make another video if you want me to. And I just wanted to also remind you guys that I'm always here for any kind of healing or guidance. I do pendulum healings. I also do pendulum readings. I do it remotely. Again, as I said, my Carnac Pendulum, it's absolutely wonderful for those things. And I also do the tarot card readings, oracle readings, sound bowl healing sessions with quartz crystal sound bowls. So if you ever need me for any guidance or healing sessions, I'm always here with an appointment. You just set it up by contacting me. I'm always here Monday through Sunday, okay, you guys? So blessed be, and I hope all of you have fun with your pendulums and with your divinatory practices, and just stay safe out there, do everything safely. And I wish you guys nothing but blessings and health and happiness. And until the next video, blessed be.